Okay, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, of course, are back in training ahead of their AFCON 2023 quarterfinal match against the Black Antelopes of Angola. The game is coming up on Friday, February 2nd. And as you can see on your screen right now, we had Francis Zoho and Olorunleke Ojo training as the goalkeepers for this session. Unfortunately, Stanley Nwabali suffered a knock in the previous game against Cameroon. He was clattered into and absolutely swept off his feet by Nkudu in that game where Nigeria ended up 2-0 winners. And unfortunately, he has not been able to return to injury. According to the word that we have from camp, Nwabali has undergone a test and we're expecting to get the result from that test tomorrow. Unfortunately, he's not able to participate in full training, but he's currently working with the physios, trying to see how they can manage damage. He's not on crutches, he's working under his own power, but he was spotted in training with a big bag of ice over his knee. So fingers crossed. The rest of the squad, though, was in training, everyone fully fit and accounted for. As you can see on your screen, several of the Super Eagles players and the coaching staff taking part in today's training session. You can see William Trustekong, Onwachu, Calvin Bassi, and of course the coaches. Finidi George is also there, the Nigeria Super Eagles legend. So yes, today's training was quite a good one for the players. They worked really hard. They stayed in the training ground until dark. You can also see Chidozie Awaziem, Kenneth Omero, Simon, Alassane Yusuf, didn't take part in the game against Cameroon, but he's fully fit and training again. As you can see now, Stanley Nwabali, he was around, he was there, but he didn't take part in the intensive training session. He's a very strong man, well built, so we're hoping that he can really overcome this injury, and it's nothing that would rule him out for the game against Angola and also the rest of the tournament. Okay. Omero, Awaziem, Finidi George, Emi Ajayi, Moses Simon, Onwachu, all smiling, having a good time in training, as you can see. That's one thing that you always notice with the Super Eagles whenever they come together to train. It's always all smiles. There's always great camaraderie, and the players are always excited to be on the field with each other. Right now, they're just doing a light jog before they get into the intense training session. Of course, players have recovered from the game against Cameroon, and then now they are just focused on the job that is coming up on Friday in the quarterfinal against Angola. Ademola Lookman was the scorer of both goals against Cameroon. More drills, before they get into, any kind of match scenario on the field, just more drills, making sure that everybody is active. You can see Kelechi Iheanacho in the court as well. Unfortunately, Kelechi Iheanacho has not taken part in the tournament so far, but he's fully fit. He's taking part in training, and maybe his moments will come where he can play a role for the Super Eagles and potentially make a big impact. Head coach Jose Peseiro was asked about Kelechi Iheanacho after the game, after the win against Cameroon, and he mentioned that yes, he's there, he's available to him, but in that game, he wasn't chasing a second goal, so he didn't necessarily need to bring him on. He was more so trying to show up the defense. That is why Iheanacho did not come on as a substitute. As you just saw on your screen as well, Terry Murphy also hasn't taken part in this tournament, but he's fully fit, he's available, and he's an option if we do need him. Rafael Onyedika has played a couple minutes, but also hasn't played much. Baitosai Samuel, who has come on as a sub about 2 or 3 times so far in the tournament, also training, as well as Samuel Chukwueze, who has played a significant amount of minutes in this tournament, but hasn't been the most impressive player. Would also be hoping that maybe he can just find his way into the starting 11 for the upcoming game against Angola. Lots of quality players in this squad. Unfortunately, the coach keeps reiterating the fact that he can only play 11 players on the field at a time. So there's always going to be some players that would be missing in on the match action. But of course, we know that a player like Terry Murphy can provide, a very, very good support to Victor Osimhen if we're ever chasing a goal, and can also do well alone up front. You can also see the team captain, Ahmed Musa, yet to play a minute in this year's tournament, but he's fully fit, he's training, and he's part of everything that the team has going on. Nwabali has come on as a sub when we need to hold the game. He's fully fit and training. Bruno Onyemaechi as well gets to play a minute for whatever reason. We're not sure about that. But he is fully fit and training after not being part of the matchday squad at all for the game against Cameroon. The players getting ready to do some ball work, just, jogging on the field. And yes, the game, they know how intense it's going to be. They know how good the Angolan side are, and they are all looking forward to it. It's now time for some shooting training that the forwards will be taking part in, and as you can see now on your screen, Francis Zoho in goal, ready to face some of these shots. The first one, I believe, is a left-footed strike by Terry Murphy, well saved by Francis Zoho. Hopefully he can make these saves in the game as well. Bruno Onyemaechi, is left back or a left wing back, but also involved in this shooting drill. Ahmed Musa also involved in this drill as well. You can see Olawale Ojo on the side, waiting for his chance to get in goal and to try to make some saves on the shots that will be coming in from the attacking players. Francis Zoho looking very focused in goal, a cross, and then the ball goes wide, so he doesn't have to make a save there. You can see the goalkeeper coach as well, standing beside the goal, helping the goalkeepers, training the goalkeepers, and keeping them active. Ahmed Musa on your screen. Again, like I mentioned earlier, yet to play a minute in this tournament, but of course, he's the team captain, and if we do win the tournament, he will be the one to hoist the trophy up and to bring it back home to Nigeria. Ahmed Musa looking for potentially a cross coming to him, but the ball goes wide and nothing comes his way, so he doesn't have to make a save. Olawale Ojo in goal this time, saves a good shot from Raphael Onyedika, midfielder. Onyedika jogs back to meet the rest of the team. You can see now the boys are taking a little bit of a break, stretching out their bodies, just, resting on the sides after some sessions and after some drills that they've taken part in. The Super Eagles training camp is open to journalists for a few minutes on certain occasions. Not every training session, but this training session, journalists were able to watch, record, and observe as the players were going through all, phases of their training. Of course, this is a break time for them. That's why you see the players, on their phones with earphones in. This is just a break time. Of course, as you can imagine, they are not allowed to use their phones while the main session and the main drills are going on, because that's something that I saw a few people commenting about on the last video. The players are not on serious. They are all focused. But when they have a break, when they have, time to rest after the session, then they are able to get on their phones, listen to music and just relax. Team coordinator Patrick Pascal, also in the court. He's been one of the key figures in the Super Eagles staff for a while now. Another shot of Francis Zoho, who trained really hard today. He's more than likely going to be the starting goalkeeper for the game against Angola, so he needs to be prepared, he needs to be focused, and he needs our support as well. A lot of people are not happy to see him in goal, but as we would have it, he's more than likely going to be the one, at least based on information that we have at the moment. Maybe we might hear something different tomorrow about Stanley Nwabali's injury. The team's media officer said that he's hopeful that Nwabali will be fit, but for now, he is not. And we have to support the goalkeepers that we have. Olawale Ojo, of course, is also an option, but is third choice goalkeeper at the moment. Another interesting thing is that Francis Zoho, for this tournament, he switched to the number 1 jersey from his usual number 23 jersey. Maybe believing that he will get the number 1 spot for the tournament, but of course he lost that spot to Stanley Nwabali, who has been very impressive so far for Nigeria. And then another shot of Nwabali, you see him on the bench, didn't take part in today's training, just walked around, was involved in the team huddles, but is not really moving around. His knee is still fairly swollen, is still in a bit of pain. He was limping lightly around training today, but the important thing is that he can walk on his own strength and it doesn't appear to be anything too serious. So yes, that concludes the Super Eagles training for today, Monday, January 29th, ahead of their game on February 2nd against the Black Antelopes of Angola. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how you're feeling. Do you trust the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Do you believe that they will qualify for the semi-finals of the Africa Cup of Nations 2023 taking place in Ivory Coast? And do you think that they can just do it and go all the way to the trophy like they did in 2013? Thank you very much for watching. This is Eagles Record, home of Nigerian football, and we'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye, guys.